Have you ever looked at the night sky and felt like something was looking back? Tonight, we're not just learning how a telescope works. We are stepping into a machine that steals light from the past. Every star you see may already be gone. Every glow may be a ghost. And the telescope is the only tool that lets human eyes touch time itself. But there is something strange about the way it works. Something quiet. Something almost alive. Because when you point a telescope toward the darkness, it does not just show you space. It reveals distance, truth, and sometimes things you were never meant to see. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, the sky above you will never feel empty again. Long before satellites and space missions, humans had only their eyes. Tiny, fragile eyes trying to understand an infinite universe. The stars looked small, silent, unreachable. But then came a simple idea. What if light could be gathered? Not just seen, but collected. A telescope is not a magic device. It is a light collector. Light travels across unimaginable distances. It spreads out, becoming weaker and weaker. But when that faint light enters a telescope, something powerful happens. The instrument gathers scattered light and focuses it into a single point. Suddenly, distant objects become brighter, clearer, closer. It is like catching whispers from the universe and turning them into voices. But gathering light is only the beginning of its secret. Inside a telescope, light begins a journey. When it enters the front lens or mirror, it bends. This bending is called refraction. The glass does not simply let light pass. It controls it, shapes it, guides it toward a focal point. Imagine rain falling across a wide field. Now, imagine all those drops being guided into a single stream. That is what the telescope does to light. Mirrors reflect. Lenses bend. Together, they build an image from fragments traveling across space for millions of years. By the time the light reaches your eye, it has already lived a long story. You are not seeing a star as it is. You are seeing it as it was. And this realization changes everything. But why does the image appear bigger? Why do distant worlds suddenly seem within reach? Magnification is not about making objects larger. It is about changing perspective. The telescope stretches the angle of incoming light. Tiny differences become visible. Details hidden to the naked eye emerge slowly, like secrets whispered in darkness. Mountains on the moon, rings around distant planets, patterns in far galaxies. The telescope does not bring space closer. It brings clarity to distance. And yet, something else happens when magnification increases. The deeper you look, the darker everything around becomes. Because to see more, the instrument must narrow your vision. And that narrowing reveals a strange truth. There are two main kinds of telescopes. One uses lenses. The other uses mirrors. The refracting telescope bends light through glass. The reflecting telescope uses curved mirrors to gather and focus light. Both perform the same task, but in different ways. Mirrors can be larger. Larger mirrors collect more light. More light means deeper vision, and deeper vision means older light. When astronomers build giant telescopes, they're not trying to see bigger objects. They're trying to see further back in time. Every improvement in design is not a step into space. It is a step into history. And the deeper the view, the more unsettling the discoveries become. When light from a distant galaxy enters a telescope, it has traveled for millions, sometimes billions of years. That means the telescope is not showing the present. It is revealing the past. Imagine watching a candle that burned out before humanity existed. The telescope makes this possible. It captures ancient light still traveling through space. In a way, telescopes are time machines made of glass and metal. But unlike fiction, this time machine cannot move forward. It only looks backward. And the deeper it looks, the younger the universe appears. Astronomers realized something chilling. The universe had a beginning, and telescopes were the witnesses. But here's the mystery. The more powerful the telescope becomes, the more darkness it reveals. Between galaxies, there is emptiness. Vast, cold silence. Light becomes rarer. Signals weaken. And yet, telescopes keep searching. Why? Because hidden within faint light are clues about everything. Gravity, expansion, the birth of stars. Each photon captured carries a message. Telescopes decode those messages. But sometimes they capture something unexpected, unusual movements, strange patterns, light that should not exist. And this is where simple observation turns into discovery, and discovery turns into tension. Telescopes do not just see visible light. Some detect infrared heat. Others detect radio waves. These invisible signals reveal hidden objects. Cold clouds forming stars. Black holes swallowing matter. Entire structures invisible to human eyes. The universe is not silent. It speaks in many forms of light, and telescopes translate them all. But when multiple telescopes observe the same region and detect something inconsistent, scientists pause. Because the universe follows rules. And when observations break those rules, a question emerges. Is the telescope showing truth or revealing something we do not yet understand? As telescopes grew more advanced, they began to observe the edge of the observable universe. The faintest light ever detected. Light from a time when stars had just begun to exist. But something strange appeared. Tiny irregularities. Patterns in cosmic background light. These were not errors. They were imprints of the early universe. Evidence of a violent beginning. Telescopes were not just revealing objects. They were revealing origin. But with each discovery came deeper questions. If the universe had a beginning, what existed before light itself? And now we arrive at the most unsettling realization. The telescope does not show objects as they are. It shows delayed reality. Every observation is history. Every image is memory. Even when you look at the moon, you see it as it was moments ago. When you look at distant galaxies, you witness ancient events already finished. The telescope does not simply observe the universe. It reveals the impossibility of seeing the present. Reality, as you see it, is always behind, always late, always fading. So how does a telescope work? It gathers light, focuses it, magnifies it, but what it truly collects is time. It captures ancient photons and delivers them to human eyes. The machine is simple. The consequence is profound. When you look through a telescope, you're not exploring space. You are exploring memory written in light. And here is the final truth. The universe you see is not the universe that exists now. It is the universe that once was. Tonight, when you look up, remember this. The sky is not a ceiling. It is an archive. Every star is a message traveling through time. And the telescope is humanity's way of reading it. If this journey changed how you see the universe, stay curious. Because every question opens another mystery. And the next time you look into darkness, ask yourself, what light is still traveling toward you? Subscribe, and we will keep exploring the unseen together.